Hey, good evening. This is Valerie McDowell, and it's Write It Out Wednesday. You know what we do here. We are in year 2 of Write It Out Wednesday, so I want to thank you all for always supporting, us coming out here and sharing with you tips and helpful hints for how to get you from idea to publish. Hey, Joyce, I see you. You've been trying to get on, so there you are. So great to see you. And so, we come on here and we put you at the top of your writing list. A lot of people, it's a lot of things going on. And actually, let me just stop and say happy September. We are in a new month. We are almost at the end of the year. And so many things are going on. But where are you in terms of your goals? Where are you in terms of accomplishing those things that you said you wanted to do? And we know we've been in a pandemic since really, 6 months now, just about. And lots of things are going on. There's still limits on different things you can go and places you can, things you can do and places you can go, but yet at the same time, for some people, you have more time to actually try to hit those goals. And I know for me, it's a new month. So it's like, where are you, Val? What are you doing? What are your goals? And I know I've been challenged I have some financial goals for my business, as well as also having some business goals, like different things that I need to get accomplished, different things I need to get moving in terms of my business so that I can move forward. And I say to you, what are some of the goals that you have for September? What are you trying to get done? And if there are some things that you have been putting off, let's kind of talk about it. Let's write it out tonight and see what's been going on. And so the thing about goals is that often when they come up, it's like, they seem so big. It's like I have a goal for my clients, and actually I have about 8 books in process, and that's like woohoo, but it's also like woohoo, because it's a lot to do. It's keeping things on schedule, processing this person, that person, everybody's on a different schedule, everyone has a different book, and so you have to make sure you're focusing and giving great attention to each client so that they are getting the best product possible, with the services. And so that's one of the goals of how can we make this process even more streamlined? How can we make sure that everyone is getting the full value of what they, have invested in? And so the thing about setting goals is like, I've kind of boiled it down to about 3 things that I try to think about when it comes to goals, really just for clarity for my own sake. And it's the what, the how, and the why. And I know that you've probably heard some of these things, but when it comes to, setting a goal for anything really in your life, the first thing is like, what do you want to achieve? When I talk to my clients, when we set up to write a book, it's like, what do you want to do? What is this book about? What are you looking to achieve? That's what your goals are. They're that thing, that you want to accomplish. It's like you have a vision of what you want to get done, and that goal is the end result of that vision. Okay. It's the thing that takes you where you want to go. So part of the goal, building, exercise is figuring out what it is that you want to do. Like, what is the what? Okay. So number 1 is what? And for those of you who have already written a book, and you want to write another book, it's like you have to go back to those same exercises that help you, get through it the first time. And for many of you, that first time, you're like, whoo, but then you're like, now I know what to do. Being clear, having a clear goal, and knowing exactly what it is that you want to do. And so, when it comes to goals for anything that you really want to do, the what is that first thing that you want to do. And what's the second thing? And I'm not going to be before you long. I just have these 3 points because I have some deadlines I need to meet, and I do a lot of things at night because it's just quiet, and my, I get a lot of good thoughts going on. I'm working with great people. Joyce, hey, April, good to see you. You killed that thing you sent me. That was so good. So I just want to shout you out to say, yes, you are on the right path, my dear. That I love what you were writing, and I was editing as I was reading it, but it's good. It reads now like the story that it needs to be. So bravo to you. And we're in here, we're talking about setting goals. We're setting goals tonight, and I just had 3 points I want to share, and the first goal is knowing the what. What is it that you're trying to achieve, okay? And so for both of you, what is it that you're trying to achieve? You know what it is. Like Joyce, we're on a path now, and I know you know exactly what it is you want to do. and we've got your outline in, and you are ready to go forth, because I know it's going to be good, because I'm clear about what you're supposed to be doing. So I know you're clear. So I'm looking forward to that process happening with you too. But the second thing that we want to talk about is the how. How are you going to get to that goal? What do you need to do? What needs to be in place for you to reach that goal? What are the steps that I need to take? What do I need to do today? What do I need to do tomorrow? What do I need to do for an hour? If you have to set some time, it's like, okay, every day from 9 to 12, I'm working on my book. Or from 9 to 11, I'm going to the gym. From 9 to 2, I'm cleaning out the basement, like whatever it is, like set a time, and block that off so that you don't have any of the interruptions in it. Because the reason we often don't get the things accomplished is, we say we're going to do something one day, but then that day comes and then the phone rings or somebody comes over, you get a phone call, or, you see something else that needs to be done, and you can just get off track. And it doesn't really take much. And even though you could be home and have time to do certain things now, that you can still get, distracted by other things that are going on, and particularly online. You can get distracted just watching videos, just doing all kinds of other things, and before you know it, the time has gone. The one thing that's so key is that, we never get the time back. You can make more money, but you never get more time. So it's like, it's important that we make the most of every day, because it is short. So that was the second point. How are you going to get there? What are the steps? A lot of people, have started businesses, when you look around, making masks, like the process. So for them, what is the thing that they need to do? It's like they need materials. They need to know how long does it take to make one? How many, orders can they do? They need packaging to ship. They need postage, then they need to take it to the post office. And with everything going on with the post office, it's like, you got to get them out there, because it's taking a little longer, but it's a lot of different steps that you have to take, but they're little steps. So if you do each one, then you're closer and closer to that goal. Like, you can maybe set up all your packages, so the only thing you need to do is slide in the mask when they're done. If you have a little plastic sleeve that they come in and then they go into a padded envelope, then have all those already set up. So once your masks are done, boom, you're just doing it. It's the same thing with writing your book, once you have your table of contents and you know what you're writing, okay, stick to just writing that for the day. Don't try to write 3 chapters in one day, at least finish one, but if you have some ideas, you can jot down some ideas you may have for another project or for another chapter, but don't try to write 3 chapters at the same time. Write one. Put the ideas that pop into your head for something else, write and put them down, but just don't try to write all 3 at the same time, because then you can get confused and you're like, wait a minute, what am I writing? So do one thing at a time, and then that'll keep you going towards your goal, and it'll actually help you to accomplish it, much quicker when you have one idea in your mind at a time, and do that and then do the next thing. And then the third point, which is always the hardest one, but hard in the sense that it makes you really think about, and it's the why. You've often heard it that people's like, what's your why? What's your why? But that's your driver. That's the thing that moves you forward. Like, that determines whether you will actually get something done or not. For many people, food, diet is a struggle. And being home, people, like, I remember when the pandemic and the quarantine first started, people were just all talking about all the recipes, all the cooking that they're now doing that they never had time to do because they were in traffic and running and grabbing and kids and soccer and everything they were doing. And, people were making bread and baking and all kinds of stuff. And I was part of that team, cooking all kinds of things. But it's like, but when it comes to, what you need to do to, for instance, lose weight, like, are you, what is your why? Like, why do you want to do that? Because it's like, if your why is not bigger than your habits or the things you do every day, then your why will last for maybe 24 hours, maybe a week, but it won't be a driving factor. Your why has to be bigger than your excuses for why you don't get it done. Okay, let's say that again. Your why on why you want to hit that goal has to be bigger than the excuses of why you don't get it done. Okay, many times we say we're going to go to the gym, but when it's 7 o'clock in the morning, you got to be at the gym at 8. Are you up? Are you dressed? Are you ready to go? I don't know how far the gym might be. It might be just outside, but are you up? You have to. And it's like your habits are the things that determine actually your success in life and whether or not you hit your goals. It's not always the other stuff or people or determination and will. It's your habit. Like, what do you continually do every day? Because your habits, whether do you write every day? Do you write every week? If writing every day is not what you do, but do you at least get writing in during that week? Have you set a time, like maybe Saturday is your day? So on Saturday from 2 to 4, you write. Are you at least doing that? Is that your habit? Like we have a habit of eating. What other habits do you have? There are certain things that you do and you unconsciously do it. Some people you snack as a habit. Like, I'm watching this, I get a snack. Or when this happens, I do this. But what good habits that lead you to your goals have you implemented in your life? Because the more your habits again really determine whether or not you're going to actually get to that point. And then so changing your habits actually really starts with changing what you're thinking, because a lot of times, we're like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. It's like, where's that thought coming from? Is it that you don't want to do something? Because sometimes we don't do things, our habits don't change, our thinking doesn't change because it's not something we really want to do. But when it's really something you have to do, starting to change the way you think about that thing, when you look towards the reward of what it's going to be when you complete it, let that be the why. It's like, oh my God, when I finish writing this book, I'm going to be so excited. I will have accomplished, like, I've been talking about this book for years, but now I have it in my hand. It's for sale. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. It's in, in different places. Like, to be able to have that and to be able to say, I did this, I accomplished this. Like, that's a great goal. Let that be your why. The reward of having completed something you've been talking about for a long time. And that's the thing. It's like that why has to be bigger. A lot of people's like, I'm doing it for my kids. It's like, okay, well, what if your kids don't care about it? What if they're like, It's like, let it be, because your kids will grow up and leave and they may not care about it, but you did it all for your kids. But it's like, what are you doing for yourself? Like even with your health, it's like you need to do, be healthy for yourself. Don't just get healthy so you can maybe go to your kid's soccer game. Get healthy so maybe you can play soccer with your kid. It's like, don't just write your book because you want your kid to see it or your parent or your friend. Do it because you want to see it. You want to read your book. You want to see your name on the cover of that book, your picture on that bio on the back that says you did this, you wrote this book. So let your why be bigger than something that may not last, or someone who may leave or grow up or go away or do other things. Let your why be an internal thing that causes you to keep going, even when it gets hard or difficult, or you're frustrated, or you want to give up. Let it be the thing that says, no, I've committed to doing this and I'm going to get it done. Because it's that why that will continue to drive you, and it's a whole crux of goal setting. It's the thing again, that will get you through. And I was reading some things and it was saying that, 40 to 50%, like half our day just about, is based on our habits. Like you may get up at a certain time, you eat a certain thing, you may eat the same thing, and then you do this, and then you turn on the TV, and then you take a shower, whatever. Like you have a habit of doing a certain things in a certain way. Like I put my keys and glasses down in the same place, eyeglasses, when I come home. I have a habit of doing that. And that habit helps me to remember that my keys and my eyeglasses are, at a certain place, on the counter. So if they're not there, it's like, what was going on that made me not follow that habit? Now that's a habit, that's a good habit. It helps me remember that. But what habits do you have that are not good habits? What habits are keeping you? Do you just sit and watch, TV when you come home, or, and you binge watch something for 4 hours. And it's just like, some days it's just like, that is the thing to do. But when you have a goal, it's like, are you completing that? I was sharing with someone where I was like, instead of sending videos or things where somebody else has to now do something that they're not really interested in doing, work on your book. Don't send things that aren't helping you reach your goal. Don't add activities or things that's gonna, cause distractions in your life as opposed to moving you forward. Like, I have to take time to learn some new techniques, some strategies for things that I'm doing, learn some new software in order for my business to grow. So I have to eliminate some other things in order for that goal to be reached. And so I have to look at, how is my day being spent now? Where is time being wasted? Where can I get my time back, for things that I need to accomplish, and not, allow the time, to kind of take it. And then the other thing that I was reading, it says that your brain likes you to do things the way you've always been doing it, which is why people often find it hard to change, because your brain, like, it's like singing a certain song, doing a certain move. Like, if you notice older people, after a while, like, they do the same move because your brain remembers that move, or you remember certain things because your brain remembers that. And it's just like, but your brain is living, it can change, it can grow. You can cut a new groove in there so you can do something different. So don't allow your habits that are not helping you to move forward to control your life. Because like I was saying, if 50% of your day is spent in habitual kind of activities, then what are some things that you're doing that are good habits? Good habits are taking a shower and brushing your teeth. But what are some good habits that's reaching some other goals for you? That's helping you to get to that book. Are you, doing a checklist of the things that you need to get done for your book? Have you turned in your photos? Have you thought about your cover? Is your title complete? Do you need to have a consultation? Do you need to talk to me? Do we need to plan out your book? What is it that you need to do? Because, once you set a good goal, a good habit, then that goal will follow, because your life is based on your habits, what you habitually do, what you continually do every day. So what is it that you're doing? So it's important that we look at our life to see. So we were talking tonight about the what, the why, and the how of hitting your goals. And so we hit 3 points today, and it's key that you use that, the how, why am I doing this? How am I doing this? Why am I doing this? So that we can reach them, and the thing about it, like, I know that when I first started helping people write books, and they were like, well, how many words should I write? How many, and it just depends on the book. It depends on you. But, when people really want to know numbers, it's sort of like one page, single space is 500 words. So if you write one page a day, in a week, you have 3,500 words, and it's like, and a book, you need about 40,000 words, 60,000 words, something like that, but if you write one page every day, for a year, you can have about 4 books done. Okay. So it's like, but one page, it doesn't take long to write one page. It can take you maybe 30 minutes, an hour, if you just focus and write. It can take you 15 minutes to write a page, and because often what we need to say is already inside of us. We just have to tap in. And I think I did a live about tapping in before. So sometimes, we do all kinds of things, and we allow all kinds of other things to get in the way. But what we really need to do, what we really need to say, is really on the inside of us. So those are my 3 points for tonight: how to reach your goals in 3 easy steps. And one thing, there's a quote by Octavia Butler that I saw. It said, first, forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will sustain you whether you're inspired or not. Habit is persistence in practice. And I was like, wow, your habits are persistence in practice. Your habits are what you will do persistently. It's what you live out every single day. And so we want to live out our habits so that we reach our goals. We don't want to be, a year from now, the end of this year, next year, like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, I got nothing done during quarantine. We are not going to be those people. We want to have accomplished much during quarantine, right? So that when things go back to whatever they're going to be, when borders are open and travel and schools and all the other things that, we don't know what it's going to look like. It may be like this for much longer than we think. We don't know, but are you adjusting? Are you creating good habits during this time? Because that's going to determine whether you meet your own goals. So that's what I have for you tonight. Thank you for joining me for another Write It Out Wednesday. I'm Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, and book coach accelerator. And I work with Writing Challenge clients, helping them get their stories told and their books published. And if you want to get a book done and at least start it this year, then I'll put a link down below. And so please share this. Please share this video. Please like my page. Let your friends know if they have a book. I know you know some people that want to write a book. So let's talk to them. Let's get them, we'll put a link. They can fill out an application and we can get together and we can see how we can help them go from idea to publish. So until next time, thank you guys. So be productive, be powerful, but always be you. I'll see you next week. All right. Take care.